So this is the last video snippet in this series on the 6 principles of WordPress productivity management. Just as a recap and a summary, I created these principles based on principles I learned in the software development world back when I worked for a consulting firm named Keen. I took those principles and modified them a little bit to apply to a WordPress project. So the 6 principles that we are using on our WordPress projects are: number 1, define the job in detail with a content-first approach. And this means breaking down for the customer how you're going to manage the project, as well as what are the pieces and parts of the solution. I use a 2-step proposal process to do this. There are other ways to implement it that might work just as well. But when we get into the complete WordPress project management roadmap that I'm creating, I'll go into a lot more detail about that. Principle number 2 is get the right resources involved: plugins, themes, people, blocks and templates, and hosting. Number 3 principle is break the job down. I say that John Keen was the first one to think of the agile sprint when he came up with the 80-hour rule, where we were required to have a deliverable every 80 hours. And we always knew within 2 weeks of the project where we were in the project timeline. We need to break down your WordPress projects, but not necessarily into 80 hours. You'll know how to break them down, probably based on deliverables. And then principle number 4 is estimate the time and cost. And I pointed out that really the only way to get better at it is to keep doing it over and over, but put a process in place by which you're measuring where you make mistakes and where you can improve on your estimating. And then principle number 5 is establish that change control procedure, put a plan in place, acknowledge change with the customer, and explain to them that you're going to manage that change going forward. You're going to spend a lot of time defining the project, then you're going to manage any change that comes up, and they're going to be in control of that change budget. And then finally, agree on acceptance criteria, not only for the entire project, but for each major deliverable within the project. And that will help you in terms of making sure that you know when you're done and when you can reasonably expect the client to accept what you're presenting to him for approval. So that's the 6 principles of productivity management modified for WordPress. I'm hoping you found this helpful. I'm hoping that as I develop the rest of the tools and the templates and everything included in the roadmap, that this will really help you guys control scope creep, control your customer, and get your projects done on time and within budget. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next series of videos.